Ladies and gentlemen, it's Titoclock. So please welcome your host, James Deacon.
That's me. Hello there, folks. What's up for you? How you guys going? It's Titoclock. It is a Friday, which means we are ready for the weekend. Well, you know that. You don't need me to tell you that. I just want to be here to tell you what's up and that we are live until about 6 o'clock tonight. Got a whole bunch of stuff for you, including of course, we got the raffles. Of course, we got the Free Plug Friday. Of course, we got the news and all that jazz. But I'm going to be talking to somebody super interesting. We've had him on the show before. I promised that I would get him back because he was super interesting. And all you guys were like, we got to have this guy back. So Luis Buenaventura is going to be back. He's going to be talking a little bit later on about the crypto scene, but specifically on the play to earn segment, which is blowing my whole mind. I cannot wrap my head around this whole new concept. So I need somebody who's not a Tito like me to decryptify this whole crypto space for us, right? And he's going to be showing us the pitfalls, the gains and stuff. He's a real good wealth of knowledge. I'll save the intro for later, but just wanted to give you a little hint of what's up. Now, before we start, let's do the normal greetings and just say good day to the regulars. We've got, of course, Mayanne tuned in as always. Hi, Mayanne. Thanks for joining us. We got Janelle Kalita, also another Tito Clocker. And we've got Chris Williams. Hola, my friend. We got Regina. We got Regina Yulin. Domingo Capa Herrera Jr., Tiala Gugong. Okay, got CC Abad. Hey, what's up, CC? You're always tuned in too. These are basically why we had merch made for you guys. It's in the back there. You can see in the red jacket on the chair. That's one of the items that we just had made. So we had new merch drop, and we'll be popping those on. We'll be giving them to each and every raffle winner from now on, right? While stocks last, of course. This is, of course, in partnership with Uniqlo and Champ Tailors, because we only use Uniqlo stuff for our merch because it's just so good. You know, you don't have to think about it. Quality's always there. Pricing's always there. Consistency. Plus, they've got some great styles. Okie dokie. I'm going to rush here so fast. I'm eating my own words. I'm going to rush through this because, like I said, big show. And what I don't want to have happen, like last time, was we get so into the conversation. I keep looking at the clock, okay? It's, let's get this party started so that I can get our guests on as soon as possible. And we can really spend all of that time unpacking this whole mysterious world around play for earn. All right. But in the meantime, let's kick things off with the latest in headlines so we're all on the same page. And for that, we need our resident news reader. Please welcome up Chris. Chris, what you got there for us?
Hey. Good afternoon, Tito James. Happy Friday, my fellow Tito Clockers. This is Chris for your Tito Clock News. The Department of Health said today that it has detected 16 new Delta variant cases in the Philippines, including the first local case based on the latest whole genome sequencing report. New cases were returning overseas Filipino workers. One case arrived in the Philippines from the United Kingdom on the 26th of April 2021, while two of these cases arrived from Qatar on June 15th, 2021 and have recovered. 11 of the new Delta variant cases were local transmissions, according to health spokesperson Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire. 6 Delta variant carriers are from northern Mindanao, 2 from the National Capital Region, 2 from Western Visayas, and 1 patient from Central Luzon. 15 recovered while 1 died of the 16 patients. The Delta variant is more contagious than the original COVID-19 strain due to the presence of the L452R mutation, which allows the virus to get past the immune system and spread faster in cells. The Philippines recorded 19 Delta variant carriers in the country this July. The United States has started shipping over 3.2 million doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine to the Philippines, according to White House spokesperson Kevin Munoz in a tweet. The country is expected to receive over 1.6 million doses of the U.S.-made COVID-19 shots today. The rest of the supply donated by the U.S. government through the COVAX facility is scheduled to reach the country by Saturday. This batch is the Philippines' first supply of the single-dose coronavirus vaccine. Health Undersecretary Mirna Cabotaje earlier revealed that senior citizens and adults with comorbidities will be prioritized in this rollout. Each region will get 100,000 doses according to the directive of vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. The country has received over 22 million doses from the brands Pfizer, Moderna, Sputnik V, Sinovac, and AstraZeneca. Over 14 million of these doses have been administered, of which 4 million individuals have received their second dose. By November, the government aims to immunize up to 60% of the target population. The Department of Education said on Thursday that classes for the next school year will start on September 13 after President Rodrigo Duterte picked the date. Under Republic Act 11480, which became law in 2020, the president can set the date of the opening of classes in areas under a state of calamity or emergency. Classes in the Philippines will be held through distance education, which includes printed modules, online classes, and video lessons until the president allows a return to classroom learning. The shift to modular learning has presented problems, among them, lack of access to the internet and to gadgets needed for online classes. Questions have also been raised over the quality of the education that students are getting through the new system. In a survey conducted in March and April, it has also taken a toll on teachers' physical and mental health. Public education in the Philippines faced challenges in funding and in facilities even before the pandemic. Metro Manila mayors have passed a resolution urging local governments in the region to issue orders that will affirm the government's latest policy allowing children aged 5 and older to go outdoors in areas under General Community Quarantine or GCQ and Modified General Community Quarantine or MGCQ. Under Resolution number 21-11 series of 2021, local mayors should make a list of allowable outdoor areas or parks, with the latter defined as alfresco areas with proper ventilation, impose a 50% limit in the venue capacity in order to avoid overcrowding, deploy marshals to privately owned outdoor areas or parks to ensure compliance with the minimum public health standards and protocols, and to ensure that minors are accompanied by adults in these areas. In a televised Laging Handa public briefing on Thursday, Metro Manila Development Authority Chief Benhar Abalos said the Metro Manila Council unanimously agreed that the ground and open areas outside the mall proper could be considered as parks, one of the child safety zones that the government's pandemic task force said children aged 5 to 18 would be allowed to go. Those were today's headlines. Now let's have Tito James back so we can hear his thoughts on the inbox.
Hear his. It's nothing to do with my thoughts. You just want to see the stress, right? You just want to see me blow a vessel.
No, you
No
really.
thoughts. Yeah, whatever. Go for
It's
it.
the truth.
Go
All right,
for
all
it.
right.
I'm ready for you. I've had my sedatives.
All right, that's great, Tito James. You're ready. And now the first picture we have is this allowed? I'm genuinely
I'll say
curious
no
if
already.
this
I
is
don't even know what you're
allowed.
going to show me. I'll say no.
No, wait.
What is-
Look
What's
first.
this?
It's a three-wheeled motorbike.
No, I mean, it's cool, it's cute, it's all that, but it's still a tricycle on a main
Mm-hmm.
arterial national road. No, so no.
No.
The
All
answer is
right,
still no.
noted on that.
Yeah, even
It's
if
a
it's red,
no.
even if it's cute, even if it's got whatever, no.
That
Wait,
is
just in case you
noted.
didn't understand, no.
Okay. Noted and understood, Tito James. Next, let's have a video of someone running off on four wheels.
Okay, let's see this.
Be warned.
Oh,
Trigger
this is
warning.
guys, because it's all this. It's okay. What we got? What we got? I'm nervous.
We'll
I'm
just
nervous.
wait.
I don't know why I
Yeah,
feel set up
it,
here. I just
it takes a
between
while,
you and
but
X, I think that you spend the week sort of getting into cahoots and working out how you're gonna stress me out.
Okay. Check the guy. Check out the
Uh-huh.
guy. Just
But we look,
comes
you know, eh,
inside. Um,
okay.
actually, there. If you're able to hear the sound, the alarm went off, and then it shut off, and then he went.
Uh, oh
So
no, no.
that just
Okay.
means the car's not
Hmm.
his.
Doesn't look like it. Mine on my side was a bit laggy, but yeah, it doesn't look like something you would do if it was your own car. Although, like I said, my video is lagging on this side,
Hmm.
so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's just but
Baka
doesn't
hiniram.
look good. Doesn't look good. Right.
Maybe he borrowed it.
Maybe,
Forgot to
maybe.
turn off the alarm.
What else you got there?
Okay. All right. Number 3 is called When You Least Expect It. Breathe, 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 breathe.
Mm. Yeah, it's really laggy on this side, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But
Yeah, I don't know if it's
so
lagging
there you go.
on the live, but X is it lagging on the live as well? A little, yeah, because yeah, okay. I saw this one, so I can actually tell you because I saw it before the broadcast. So otherwise, I'd have a hard time sort of seeing it. So forgive us if you are watching live and that was a little patchy, a little bit rough. But yeah, they're
Yes.
just sitting there and then they just get rear-ended really
Yes.
massively. And this is these things. This is why we're so. It was a truck, right? Yeah, you can see the truck
Yes, it
there.
was a truck.
Now we don't know what
And
happened, but you know what? History has been pretty reliable with giving us information about why these things happen, and I'm willing to put money down that saying, "Ay nawala ako ng preno." Yeah, right. It's just
yes,
like the traditional excuse. Nawala ako
the
ng preno. Do you know
usual.
what it takes to lose your brakes? It's not sudden. It's not like your crypto portfolio where all of a sudden it's gone. Sorry, Luis. I know you're in the background. It used to happen. You actually get warning with your brakes. Your car said your car said, poor Luis in the background laughing. Your car gives you warning signals, unlike your Bitcoin, right? It gives you warning signals telling you, well, this, you better get this checked. I'm making funny noises here. I'm changing the feel of
Yes.
my pedal. Okay, a week later, it'll feel worse and worse and worse. It doesn't automatically go unless you got a crazy ex-girlfriend that cuts the brake line. That's the only time it acts like crypto. But other than
Oh,
that, no, you get all the warning in advance. So I hate that excuse. Nawala ako ng preno because it just it's crap. It's bull, right? If you're running a truck company, you should be checking those brakes every single day, much less, every week. Every day. Go
Tito James,
before
you
you
just
can see
gave
you can
them
see my blood pressure's rising now.
you just gave them another idea for an
What's that?
excuse. My crazy ex-girlfriend did this.
Oh my god. I should patent that excuse so they can't. Trademark na yan. That's mine. All
Trademark na
right.
yan. That's for Tito James. All right.
Okay.
Moving on. Let's have the what road sign?
What road sign we got there?
What road sign? There
Okay.
goes the
What?
police. And the police turns left. And then the
Ayan.
road sign
Ayan, of
says,
course. Do as I
no
say
left
and not
turn.
what I do.
Para
That
siya,
is
para siya nag-game.
I hate to like overuse the analogy, while I was ahead already, but this is the complete opposite to the crypto people, right? When you see somebody trying to change the price of crypto, you always do follow what they do, not what they say, right? Because they're always going to tell you something
Mhm.
different, but you follow what they do, that's more telling. With this one, they're telling you, no, you follow what I say, not what I do, right? Because they're the police who know, right? Okay, promise.
Police ko no.
That's the last shade that I throw.
Shade, 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 all the way, all the way.
Tell it's a red day today. No, I'm not sorry. I'm
Yeah,
totally.
yeah, it is.
I'm just prepping our guest up. I'm just getting them
There
all
you are
warmed.
with your red jacket. Here I am with
Ah,
my
yeah, I
red
forgot I got a
cup.
red jacket on.
Nangiinggit pa eh.
Probably our guest is in the back going, this feels like an ambush. It's not. Hang on a second. I
Be
thought he was
ready.
here to talk about. Go on, Chris. Go on.
Go on. All right. Okay,
It's just
last up we have the Thug Life. We gotta commend the one who sent this because they took time and effort to edit the video.
okay.
But then again, it's laggy.
Oh, I
And
know
there
this
it
one.
is.
I know this one. I know this one. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. All right. Yo, okay. It is laggy, but basically it was that sudden. He was coming
Yes.
up the curb, and it's St. Ignatius. That area is kind of a steep hill. And so he was
Mm-hmm.
coming up, and then boom, there was this cyclist just around the blind corner and heading downhill fast. And it was as sudden as the lag showed in the video.
Uh,
So don't know
yes.
if you got the full effect, but guys, if you're riding your bike, especially now, we are they're encouraging people to ride their bikes more. We see more and more bike lanes and stuff. So we are seeing the numbers increase. You guys got to be careful out there, and you got to act like vehicles on the road. Don't act like a quasi pedestrian. All right. I'm a cyclist myself. Trust me, if you want to promote this space, you got to do it responsibly. We got to think as a community, because
Yes.
we can't afford to. We'll never win a war with a four-wheeled vehicle, right? That's it. The argument
True.
stops once you get hit. You have no
Mm-hmm.
laban on a bike. So let's be more responsible with that. Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Okay, go.
Responsibility is key. And that's all for today, Tita James. Thank you so
Ah,
much,
we made
everyone.
it. Woo!
Made it.
Woo! We
All
found the
right.
bottom and
All
then
right.
arrived. Thanks very
We're all
much, Chris.
excited. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's all have a fabulous weekend. Avoid kamote people, but always choose happiness with some sugar rush. Stay safe, healthy, and hydrated. This is Chris. See you guys. Bye.
All right, that's Chris with the latest in headlines, and of course, the latest in stressing me out. But I'm still here, right? So, what didn't kill me just made me a lot stronger. And with that, we're going to take you to our one of the most looked forward to segments of the show. It's called Free Plug Friday, just a little way of giving back to the community. This is just to help little small businesses get back on their feet by giving them some free promotion so that they can get the word out and get the economy going. And for that, we need XX. What you got in the box there, X?
Hi, Tita James. We actually have a lot in store once again. But before we go there, I just want to say hi to all the Titoclockers. Welcome to another edition of Free Plug Friday.
Woo!
All right, feature your eyes on the screen. Tita
Temperature
James. Let's light up our Free Plug Friday with scented candles from Sincerity. So Sincerity scented candles offer these handcrafted scented candles made of soy wax that come in different scents, Tito James, like coffee bean, daydream, humility, and obsession, as well as reed and hanging diffusers, and even room and linen sprays.
All
How
I
different-
want to know is, do they have common?
Common scent. Which one did you like, Tito James?
My joke. That's what I like.
Oh my gosh,
All
man.
right.
Everyone likes
Didn't
it.
make
No,
him
but-
bow on that one,
No, I
homie.
mean about the candles.
Oh, about the
scent,
candles.
scent,
Well,
the
okay.
scent,
About
scent.
except for the common sense, let me look for the coffee bean. I love the
coffee
yeah.
bean.
You know, I'm a sucker for that.
Tito James, look how
Oh my god,
interesting
because
is.
it has real coffee beans
It
in it.
has real coffee beans.
Like that actually came with it, or did you put that in from the grinder?
Well, I actually put some beans. I'm kidding. Of course not.
I actually thought that when you were showing me that you grabbed it from the coffee machine and you
put
were
it
just
together, just
for
like
photos
this.
for photo
For
purposes.
photos.
But it's not. That literally came like that.
Oh, it literally came like this, Tito James.
No
And-
wonder when it was burning, it smelled like it was roasting.
Oh, yes. Anyway, Tito James, just look at one of their candles. It even has these like pink crystals on it. I'm not sure what it is. but I guess it
I'm
adds-
smelling the daydream.
Which was my favorite.
Okay,
by the way.
I'm
That's my
like
favorite
having a
right
bit
now.
of a woof here and
Mhm.
clean. It smells very clean.
It's clean. It smells like it's very fragrant. It's just enough to give the room a fresh new scent, but without overpowering it, without overpowering your nose. Anyway, guys, price starts at 350 pesos for a jar of scented candles that have a burn time of up to 40 hours. And they even have gift boxes as well. And it's perfect for those who want a little bit of each. Anyway, guys, hope you can check them out. Sincerity Candles on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Sweet Taste Bake Shop. So, Sweet Taste Bake Shop is a home-based bake shop that drew its inspiration from the owner's mother, since the owner's mother started out by selling her original lasagna recipe before they decided to offer more dishes like the chicken pot pie, Tito James, and the El Pollo Paella or the chicken paella. How did you find it, Tito James?
Well, I found it, especially when you don't pronounce the L. It's very effective. Hiya!
Paya. Paya.
No, it was good. I really liked it, especially the paya.
Paya. No, I mean, Tito James, it's too bad that I don't eat
Paya.
not paella, but I don't eat lasagna.
Mhm.
So I was only able to
I
try-
took one for the team.
Oh,
I
how
took
was
one
it?
for
How
the
was it?
team
How
with the
was
lasagna, and it was kind of flirts with that sophisticated taste with the party taste. You know what I mean?
I guess
Because
so.
usually with the spaghettis or lasagnas here and stuff like that, we tend to go for the party taste, the
Yes,
sweeter one.
that's true.
And then some
one-
people find it, but if you go for the traditional, I mean, like the Italian recipes can be too different. This one's in the middle. Nice.
Wow, and look
Enjoyed it.
how meaty it is and how sick in Tagalog.
It's a
Tito James.
nice shot, though.
Oh, thank you. That's actually a nice shot. Anyway, guys, hope you can check them out. Sweet Taste Space Shop on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Elo's Party Tray. So, Tito James, the name itself already tells you almost all you need to know, since these guys are true to their name, since they can turn any occasion into an instant party, given the dishes that they offer, Tito James. That again, the paella, cordon bleu, that's a chicken cordon bleu, beef salpicao, chili garlic prawns kebabs, and cake trays, to name a few. Which one did you like the most? So choose it.
Well,
Especially-
before I get into that, I just wanted to say that it's a really great idea for parties. And they were all asking me how it tasted and stuff. So I tried the paella, very good. The chicken corn bleu, that's also very good. Beef salpicao, winner. Garlic prawns, sucker
Oh
for
my
that.
gosh.
Have not tried the kebabs yet because there's just so much.
There's
There was
so much.
But you know, it's my son's birthday today.
Mm.
So he's
Happy
22.
birthday!
Yeah, and then my
Woo!
brothers are celebrating. They're twins, so they're celebrating on Sunday.
Wow.
So this is perfect. It's going to be a perfect test for all this food to try out.
Exactly, James. And for me, I think that they should next time try the baked salmon. The baked salmon was actually pretty creamy, and it could give this.
The
famous-
other ones are run for money.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. 'Cause
I
that's-
don't want to say.
I know
who
what
it
you're
is,
going. Yeah.
But the serving is huge. It's not overpowering what they did with the sauce. And of course, I also like the chili garlic prawns because they cooked it to perfections. Because some people tend to overcook or overheat the prawns. That's why
You get,
you know,
yeah,
they-
the texture becomes rubbery almost.
Rubbery.
Or
and the shell sticks to
it sticks.
it
Yeah, that's so hard to peel. You know. It's
Exactly,
Yeah.
James. And
first
so-
world problems.
First world problems.
It sounds really bad. It sounds so hard to peel my giant prawn. But yeah, no, it's it's a
Yeah,
problem.
it's a real concern. And also, another good thing about those party trays is apart from the option to order per party tray or per dish that come in 2 different sizes, they also can recommend several party packages to choose from that are good even up to small groups of 4. So of course you don't want a crowd, especially nowadays, guys. So guys, hope you can check them out.
So up to
Yeah.
4, that's nice because
Yeah.
this kind of gets right between that fast food type of, if you're ordering
Exactly.
out, the options usually fast food or fancy restaurants and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So you can feel like you get a home cooked meal, but you're not going into the party size yet.
With the fancy taste.
Yes, I love it.
Yes, guys. Anyways, hope you can check them out. Elo's Party Trays on Facebook, Instagram, and you can also check out their website, elospartytrays.com. Next, we go to Tatay and Tin. So Tatay and Tin offers face masks that have a double layer nose cover to make sure that it's anti-fog, has a water repellent outer layer while the inner layer is cotton to prevent maskne or acne due to
Maskne.
Yes, that's actually it.
Okay.
Maskne. So it's acne because of the face mask. And it even has a filter pocket where you can place a filler for an extra layer of protection. And of course, the ear loops are adjustable as well. Just look at your photo, Tito James.
Nice. Look at that.
Just
Oh, and the
look at-
mask is nice too.
Yeah, it is. It is. The Tito James is looking. They have their
And I'm color coordinated.
yeah, pretty color coordinated, Tito James. And the good thing about it is it's also reusable and washable. So, Tito James, how did you find the fit?
The
How
fit's
did you
good
like
because
it?
it's big. This is going to solve a lot of the problems with people with kind of long faces like me.
Mhm.
Because if you ever are one of those people that when you talk, it kind of slips below your nose and stuff, this will cover the whole 9 yards, so to
Yes.
speak.
And the good thing about this is, Tito James, they have 3 different sizes for people to choose from.
Mm.
So it's very specific to the kind of, or I guess, a length.
Yeah, it's a length. Yeah, because
It's a length.
that's the thing about these.
Yeah, it's not standard.
No,
for
it's not
everyone.
standard at all.
Yeah, but there are masks out there that are really difficult because they're too short. So this one is good because you can actually customize it according to what size is good for you. Anyway, guys, each kit, it's actually a kit. It has its own case, carbon filter, and of course the mask as well. And it's 335 pesos per kit. Hope you can check them out. Tatay and Tim on Facebook, Instagram, and Lazada. Last but not least, we go to Nanay Bebot Childcare and Tutorial. So, Nanay Bebot Childcare and Tutorial offer online and face-to-face private tutorial for children, if it's safe, of course, as well as childcare for ages 1 and up. But of course, because of the pandemic, they had to stop doing private tutorial sessions for kids and even the childcare. So what they offer now is online classes. What's actually interesting about Nanay Bebot is the story of why she even decided to start this in 2016. Because the owner built this in memory of her late mother, who was sadly put to jail while she was still in grade 1. And she had to live and spend her days in the city library, the city jail library, basically. So that inspired her to actually, find a place for kids who don't have anywhere to go. And, sadly as well, she had to spend some nights in city jail if she didn't have a place to go. So she really made it her pact to really build something like this with James.
Wow, that is really what a story. What a
Exactly.
story that is. But
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that's like to have to go through that. So I
As a
hope
kid.
yeah, look, I mean, I think they're doing wonderful stuff. So
So hope you can check them out. Nanay Bebot Childcare and Tutorial on Facebook and Instagram. Well, that's all we have for this week's edition of Free Plug Friday. Stay safe and always sanitize walkers. This is X. Peace out. Happy weekend. Bye.
woo!
Woohoo! And that's Free Plug Friday for you, ladies and gentlemen. Our little contribution to help kickstart the local economy by giving some free airtime to those smaller businesses that had to pivot and basically make it all work out for themselves. We'll basically cover anything except face shields. Yeah. No, I wasn't joking. But yeah, if you have a business, if you have something that you need to promote, but you got to be a small one, right? Don't be one of these big multinationals that comes up and says, hey, can we join Free Plug Friday? Kind of badooey, right? It's only for those smaller businesses that really are just trying to get back on their feet. In this little community, it's great that we support each other by helping each other out. By if we see something we like, go and purchase it from them or just support them. Hey, if you don't even purchase, but you send them a message, X always includes the Facebook page and the Instagram page. Just send them a message, say, I like what you're doing. Sometimes that's enough. I know what it's like being a startup. I know what it's like to have to struggle. And, these things count for a lot. When people are encouraging you, people are just supportive. And you know what? Another thing that we need to think about is, during these times where we're all trying to pivot, things are changing so fast. I mean, what you maybe went to school for doesn't exist anymore. That's the sad reality of living in such a world at hyper pace like now. But it does give birth to brand new opportunities. And I think it's very, very important to note that because you know what? Every time we hit a crisis of some sort, it always opens up incredible opportunities. And the key is to be able to adapt, pivot, read these things, and try to make the most of it. And with that, we're bringing on somebody who I believe is a real expert in the space of what you call play to earn. It's all part of the cryptocurrency space, so we'll be talking a little bit more about that. But we wanted to focus today on the phenomenon that is Axie Infinity. And with that, we need to welcome our guest all the way, hopefully from La Union. I think he's still there in paradise, Luis Buenaventura. Hey,
I'm
Luis.
so sad that I'm not on the beach. I'm not actually on the beach.
God. You're not
I'm
you're not on the beach?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, I'm in the
man,
paradise of Taguig.
Close enough. Just put a
Not
green
quite, yeah.
screen, put the ocean behind you,
Yeah.
and then we can
Yeah.
live with that. Luis, welcome. Thank you again for accepting the invite. I remember last time you were on the show, it was a real struggle trying to wrap things up because there's so much to talk about, right? And the viewers were all saying, they learned so much and they wanted to have you back on. So thanks for accepting the invitation.
Of course.
Let's talk about this whole new space, right? I promise no more crypto jokes, right? Even though I'm wearing a red jacket, even though
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mouse pad over here is a NASDAQ, well, it's showing all the stocks dropping and stuff like that, right? You see all the,
Oh,
the
wow.
candles.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
I'm
It's
enjoying my
live.
time with the crypto, but I wanted to talk to you about this Axie Infinity thing that you are been sharing a lot in your newsletter.
Yes.
Can you still hear me? Did I get cut off or anything? No.
No, I
Did
can
we
totally
lose
hear you.
Louise? Okay, I
We're
thought we
good. We're
lost
good.
you.
Yeah.
So, Axie Infinity. Can you start by saying what the hell is it?
Yes. And that part's the easy part. That's the easiest part of the conversation. So this
Okay.
is a game that kids play. Actually, I'm not gonna say kids. I should stop saying kids now because actually, like, adults are starting to play it. So it's just a game that people play. They duel with each other. And if you've ever seen Pokemon, you're almost 90% of the way there in terms of understanding what it looks like. Because the player is not the actual thing that is dueling. You have like these little characters that you put together. They have different attributes, they have different characteristics. Some of them are fast, some of them are strong, whatever, right? And then they fight, and the person that wins the duel with their team of axes, you always need 3 axes in the duel. The person that wins a little bit of a token. The token's called SLP. We don't really need to go into kind of the what that all means and all of that stuff. But basically, that token has a value. It actually has a monetary value. And when I first started writing about this stuff about a year ago, the monetary value of SLP was about 1 peso. Um, on any given day, if an Axie player does well, they can usually make about 150 SLP. So, if it's 1:1, 150 SLP equals 150 pesos. And that's cute, right? I mean, it's a nice little, for most games that we play, we don't make anything. And the fact that we make a little bit of this is kind of cool. However, kind of recently, this year, that math has changed very drastically. So instead of 1 peso per SLP, it became something like 5 pesos per SLP. It became something like 6 pesos per SLP. And then last week it became 20. And suddenly you are looking at 20 pesos times 150 per day, right? So that's coming up to about 3,000 pesos in earnings. And you can play this game 30 days a month if you wanted to. And that is the part where, and that is the moment where everyone suddenly started taking notice. There is about 250,000 Filipinos currently playing Axie Infinity, which is not big if you compare it to kind of very large mobile games. It's certainly not as big as Mobile Legends. It's not as big as Call of Duty. But that's 250,000 Filipinos that might be earning something like 30 to 40,000 pesos this month, maybe even more than that. And that is the moment when basically everyone took notice, right? When they started doing the math, they were like, hold on, that is better than most entry level jobs, every entry level job that you can get in this country. That is greater than most of the remittances, the average remittance that an OFW sends back home. And I could make a whole list of things that is greater than in the Philippines, right? Because I mean, the minimum wage here is not that much. So, but on the fact that you can suddenly play this game and earn this much, kind of blew people's minds, no? And even if we're only looking at kind of a small subset of the population, 250,000 is not nothing. These are kids who are unemployed. God, I keep saying kids, but really, I mean, the people that we've been seeing playing this are people my age now because like they're starting to look at this and they're like, this is still better than not having a job. This is still better than my minimum wage job, my informal employment. So suddenly, parang people are suddenly looking at this as if it's a way out. And that's kind of where, it started to really take hold. And in this last month, I've not been able to stop myself from writing about it almost every other day because it's such a crazy phenomenon, and I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. And usually the way that I wrap my head around these things is by doing a ton of research and then sharing with people what I learn. And that's why I think that's kind of one of the reasons why you've parang started to hear about it, right? Because I wouldn't shut up about the thing. So yeah.
No, you could go on and on. We're just in awe because I find it fascinating. But what I do want to tell people as early as now is that the Luis has no involvement with Axie Infinity. We're not selling anything here. This is not a sponsored post. This is this Luis happens to be in a very good place to understand crypto. So he's who I go to make sense of this volatile roller coaster that I somehow got hooked up to like some kind of junkie. But he's like my source for just calming me down. But I wanted to firstly put that disclaimer out. Nobody's selling you anything. Now that Luis has explained the phenomenon that is Axie Infinity and the numbers, or at least some of the numbers behind it, I also appreciate how you are not afraid to put that real downside to it, because you paint two pictures in your newsletter. You also shared that, look, this could also be a bubble. This could also, and then you address what I thought was really well addressed was when you said, is it a Ponzi scheme? Could you walk us through that? Because I thought you had a brilliant explanation to those two things.
Yeah. And the thing about a Ponzi scheme, kasi when we think about a Ponzi scheme, there's two very important things that we always check first. The first thing is the money that pays the current investors, is it all just coming from new investors? Meaning, pinapaikot lang natin yung pera, right? So all of the new guys fund the old guys. Is that the case here? That's the first question. The second question is, what happens when we can't find any more new guys? Does the whole thing just collapse? So one of the questions I was trying to answer, and this was for my own confidence also, because I don't want to get into this. I don't want to recommend it to anyone unless I completely understand it top to bottom, right? So I was saying that if you remove all of the earnings from Axie Infinity, what you have is a mobile game that you can still play with your friends. I see that you're actually showing some of our earnings over there. So the idea is that even if we remove all of the earnings from Axie Infinity, it is still a form of entertainment. And the thing about our time and our attention as people, these all have value. We are exchanging our time and attention for entertainment when we play a game. And that is kind of the most basic economics of games. It's that's why we call it the attention economy. So I don't think that Axie Infinity is a Ponzi scheme, because even if you remove all of the revenue generating parts of it, you still have a game that is entertaining, and people can still play it just for bragging rights. They want to get on the global leaderboard. They want to show off how cool their Axies are compared to others. And we've seen this phenomenon in Pokemon, where, there's not, the monetary reward in Pokemon is not as obvious as with Axie Infinity, but people are definitely bragging about kind of their Mewtwo's and their other stuff. I actually don't have that much of a deep knowledge about Pokemon, but I believe that's an actual name from the Pokemon game. Anyway, so I don't think that it's a Ponzi scheme. What I can tell about it for sure is that it is very young. It is a work in progress. It is not a sure thing, and that's why kind of when I write about it, I always tell people, understand that this is a high risk kind of investment. It looks like it's got legs. It's definitely caught on here in the Philippines, and a lot of people are starting to, people, my relatives that I've not really talked to in a long time, they're kind of getting in touch with me now and asking me if they can buy Axies from me or something. I mean, I don't even do that, but so I can tell anecdotally that it is starting to capture the imagination in the Philippines. So what we need to understand is that there are a lot of factors out there. We have to understand it a little bit more closely. It's not just give me your money and I will make you rich. It's not like that. So yeah, that's probably the most important thing that we can tell people about it, actually.
Well, you had a newsletter today about it, and you were talking about the prices, the bubble, and then a possible that it could just dump down to a very, very low amount. And you even said that it was a bit ridiculous that you sounded like the prophet of doom, and then in the afternoon it dumped to the prophet of doom level. Yeah. What's up with that? How bad did it crash, and what does that mean?
Okay. So this morning when I woke up, the price of SLP was 15 pesos. That's quite high. It is now about 12. So we've lost about, that the difference is only about like 20-25%. It's not massive, no, 20%. If this was any other asset, 20% would be massive, but this is crypto, so that's normal. I guess that's kind of
Hold
the
my
nicest
beer.
way I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a contest for which crypto can dump the lowest. It's not like that. But I mean, I'm not surprised. Now, the thing about SLP, kasi, is the thing you have to remember about the Axie economy is that a lot of the kids who are playing this are treating it as if it is their full-time job now. So they're playing it 30 days a month, right? They're playing it for 2 to 3 hours a day. And then every 15th and 30th, they will liquidate their earnings like it is part of a paycheck, like it is sueldo, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what we were observing all of this week. Some from the 14th to the 15th to today, the price was starting to kind of drop slowly because you had a lot of people who were liquidating their SLP into pesos because they had to pay bills, right? They had to pay their mobile phone or their electricity bill or whatever. So, unlike a lot of cryptos, SLP exhibits some very obvious, easy to read market activity. And primarily, it's on the 15th and the 30th of the month where you will see the greatest likelihood na bababa yung price niya, right? Because that is when most of the market will be taking their profits. So it actually is a little bit easier to read than a lot of other cryptos. Because with a lot of cryptos, there is no specific event that their growth is tied to. With SLP, as soon as you understand that, 50% of the market is Filipinos, so we know that. And then as soon as you understand that those Filipinos are relying on this as if it is their full-time job, madali i-map yung, like yung movement ng market. Because now you know that, oh yeah, it's very likely going to be on the 15th and the 30th where you are most likely to see a dip in the price. And that's what we saw. And that's I've observed that over the last 3 months actually, where it's usually in the middle of the month that you'll see kind of a bit of a dip nga talaga. I imagine it'll continue to doing that for as long as these players are playing it like it is their full-time job, which I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. So.
No, I don't think so either, because like you said, people have been playing without earning for ever since gaming was invented. So we understand the concept of swapping our time for entertainment, and that's already a plus. So to change the model into earning, well, it's not that hard to wrap your head around. I think the part that I'm finding it really hard to wrap my head around is that, and I think one of our commenters also made the same thing. It's a game within a game, because now you have people who are not in the game that are betting on the game and changing the outcome of the game. How do you protect yourself from those types of people?
Okay.
And try to explain in better words what I just said about the people who are betting on it, in case people understand.
Okay, so I think he's talking about the fact that SLP kasi is a cryptocurrency that you can actually buy on an exchange and then trade on an exchange. No? So one of the examples is Binance. You can buy and sell SLP there. And you can basically you can bet on the outcome, the performance of this token over time. Now, you are doing that. You have nothing to do with the game. You're literally just a guy in front of a trading interface, and you're just making a bet on whether or not SLP is going to do well, right? The thing about people like that, and we call them traders, but really they're, whatever. You can use some other worse words for them if you'd like.
Derivatives.
I won't take it personally. Yeah, there is a derivatives component to this as well. They're betting on the future price of SLP or these other tokens. So the whole point of it is that they have nothing to do with the actual ecosystem of the game. They're not part of the community, right? And they're just betting. The problem is that these guys have way more money than your average Axie player. And if you're wondering how much more money they have, it's something like 100 times more money, because that is kind of what we're observing in the market these days. We see about $2.5 billion a day in trading volume kind of for the Axie futures market. Um, and when you compare that to how big the actual game is, it's not that big. It's more like $25 million a day in parang SLP earned, SLP traded, all of that stuff. So it confuses the economy quite a bit because you've got a much larger force that has nothing to do with the actual community anymore. They're just people who, push buttons and look at charts, right? And, I say that very disparagingly, but I'm actually one of those people. But but I mean, at the same time, I understand that my actions as a trader has effects on these. I'm not as big as these guys, though. Of course, I mean, like I'm very small. Actually, I got a lot of people got kind of pissed off at me this afternoon when the price did drop, and they were saying that parang it was because of the FUD that I was spreading in the morning about how I thought that the price was going to drop, and I'm like, I mean, that's very flattering that you think that I have that kind of reach and influence. I mean, dude, I'm not James Deacon, so like I'm not like I don't have that kind of influence on the market, man. So yeah, I was just calling it the way that I was observing it, which I thought, and parang may sense naman eh, the way that I was kind of explaining it to you, diba? If it is payday, it was payday yesterday, very
Yeah.
likely, bababa talaga yung price, right? I mean, what else is gonna happen? They're selling into the market eh. So, ayun.
Well,
So I feel like, yeah.
Louis Musk. We got all right. So to summarize the risks, because I think we've all established now. I think I accept your explanation. I'm pretty sure everyone here does that. It's not a scam. It's not a Ponzi. But just like any new opportunity that attracts some form of a gold rush, you're going to get some bad actors in there, and you're going to get some people who exploit. So it's not the system per se, it's not the game per se, but it's the opportunity that will attract people, right? Bad people. What are some of the things that you need to be careful about if you're just getting into this, knowing that? What are some of those pitfalls that you have to watch out for where you don't lose your shirt in this?
I apologize for the sirens that you can hear in my background. So that's the
That's
cops
yours.
coming
That was mine.
No, it's from here, and the cops are coming to like take my broadcast rights away because I won't shut up about Axie Infinity. I think that's what's going
I can
on.
actually hear sirens on my side too, and it's all day.
Yeah, weird. Yeah,
Maybe they're after both
are
of
we
us.
Not just like, yeah. Oh,
Me
well,
giving
there
you a
go.
platform, maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
Where in Taguig
you've
are
got
you?
more viewers. Near Surrendra, so not that far actually.
Okay, no, we're in Rockwell area, Sumacat. So we're
Okay.
far enough to not hear the same siren, but maybe they're after both of
Okay.
us. Go on
Great.
before they
Well,
get us.
you've got more viewers, so I think that it's mostly your fault if that's the case.
Hey, your newsletter is starting to go on fire. I mean, when I started reading that was in the 50s and 60 like area, and now it's sort of in the 3 to 5 to 6 to 8,000 type of especially with Axie Infinity. This is why I had you on the show, because obviously people are freaking out about it. They're going crazy with it, and you've been breaking us down. So before we lose the question, what are some of those things that some of the pitfalls that they have to watch out? Not necessarily with the game, but those opportunists that use this.
Oh yeah. So I mean, as you can already imagine, right? I mean, it's cryptocurrency. It's a little bit complicated. A lot of people don't completely understand it. They're very willing to put some money into it, and because of that, you get a lot of fraudsters. You get a lot of scammers. So you have to be really, really careful about like who you actually deal with, because some people will tell you that, hey man, I'm gonna hook you up with a great trio of Axies, and you'll be able to play. You'll make some money from it. Let me charge you 150,000 pesos for this purchase, right? And there's a lot of stuff like that. It's hard to tell beforehand if you're actually going to get what they are telling you, because you yourself don't really know how to look at the things that they are selling you, right? I mean, you don't know enough about the game. So the first way that I would parang recommend to protect yourself from stuff like that is you do your research, right? And I say this all the time, right? So don't trust, verify. That's why I never let go of this cap. It's so beat up now at this point. But don't trust, verify. Try to do your homework. The Facebook group that I recommend is Axie Infinity Philippines. It's all Pinoys in there. They've got something like 80,000 members. I was trying to see if I could get them to, all watch your show at the same time and maybe knock out the stream or something like that. But I think they're all playing, so maybe. So you can see how committed they are as a community. But that is a good place to start. Axie Infinity Philippines, the Facebook group is a very good place to start. And then secondly, understand that even though this game is, parang there's some very easy to understand economics. I win and then I earn, and then at the end of the day, I earn a maximum of 150 SLP. Understand that it is still cryptocurrency. So everything that you know about cryptocurrency also applies to this. It is very, very volatile, right? One of the things I wrote about this morning was that, I was saying, you guys are thinking that, from 15 pesos, which is what the price was this morning, you guys are thinking that it's not possible for it to go down anymore from there. Or if it goes down, it'll only go down a little bit. But this is crypto, man. Like, crypto can dump 80% on you in a single day. You guys have just not seen it happen before. That's why you can't imagine this scenario. But those are the kind of things that people are always parang they're surprised by it, they're shocked, they're stunned, and then they come away from the whole experience. It's like, what the hell? Like, I didn't realize I could lose almost 80% of my investment. That's insane. Why would anyone do that? But that's kind of crypto for you. There is a component of this that is always going to be very risky. And when you buy that first Axie team right now, it's very, very popular. So a lot of people are going to say something like, it's going to cost you 120,000 pesos, whatever it is now, whatever the current price is. Understand that you're buying at the height of the hype also. And because of that, it's very likely that you're going to be slightly overpriced with the purchase that you make. Just to give you an idea how crazy that movement is, the last time I bought an Axie team, I was sponsoring a player kasi I only spent 42,000 pesos on it. That's already a lot of money, but here's the crazy part. I spent that in July 2. So that's in 14 days, we've gone from a 42,000 peso price to something like over 100. No, so parang 3x roughly of what I paid for exactly, not naman exactly, but roughly the same kind of Axie team. So that gives you an idea of how parang hyped this market is right now. By most estimates, we only had 150,000 Filipinos playing it at the end of June. So that means that in the last 2 weeks, we've had like 100,000 new players enter the game.
It's
like
crazy.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, like, and I in some of my groups, people are saying like their kids, one of their kids started 60 grand a month, and he was earning 60 grand a month. He doesn't want to go back to school. I mean, not that we're promoting that. I mean, finish school naman, but it's a different world we live in. I mean, the kids have the same earning capacity now as adults. Would you agree with that? I mean, has it completely democratized, I guess, the workforce in that regard? I mean, people can really play to earn like adults and earn a decent living, or is that still far-fetched?
I would say that I want to make it part of my goals as a member of this community to figure out how to make this sustainable. Because it's one thing kasi to make the Axie Infinity opportunity, or just not even Axie, right? Just the idea of play to earn. It's one thing to make that accessible to a couple of 100,000 Filipinos. It's another thing entirely to address, the entire informal employment sector, which is like, what is that, 25 to 30 million people, right? So we're talking about a very, very large cohort of people potentially that could be helped by this. And that's kind of why I look at it very critically. I'm very excited about it. It seems like it's got legs. It seems like it's got a lot of potential. But I'm the first person who's going to say that, hey, man, I don't think this is going to work. If I notice something that doesn't look like it's going to work. Because this is the kind of thing that it's livelihood, man. That's what we're talking about, right? Potentially. Yeah. So that makes it serious. Right? It's not just like us like playing around.
I get it.
Well, I mean, I guess it is literally us playing around, but it's
you
more
make
serious
a good point.
than that.
No, you make a very good point. I get it. I'm sure everyone else gets it because this is exactly my fear and trepidation when I talk about crypto, is because I understand the space. I'm willing to take those ups and downs. I'm willing to take the risks because I know what I'm in it for. I know how long I'm in it for. So, but when you communicate that to a larger audience, you lose control of that. What people hear are get
Exactly.
rich quick. Times are tough, so they're desperate, so they're going to act on the emotion. They're going to hear you speak about it, but they're not going to listen. They're just going to hear what
Right.
they want to hear because it's livelihood that we're talking about. So this is why I'm very, very careful. So I get what you're saying. It's if you didn't have the fear of just speaking freely and then people just going out and then earning, quitting their jobs and then going, Louise, why did you do it to me? You would
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
as freely as possible, but you're speaking with this with restraint, and I can feel it in
Yes.
your newsletters. I can feel it here, but I think we need that, and that's why I always go to you, because you're one of the only people I know that actually goes through that. Most people would ride the hype and go,
Right.
look, more people are tuned into this, add a little MSG to this, and boom, you got yourself a nice buyer, a little newsletter for a few weeks. And then when it crashes, you've got death threats, you got sirens in the background.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
rather this
I've already got
stable
the sirens in the background. I don't want the death threats.
Although somebody said that, Justin, I think, said, yeah, they're going to arrest you for giving too much quality information. I think he said, where did he say that? Because he said he's a must follow person, and
Oh,
we should
thank you.
address this.
Thanks so much, Justin.
He is a much follow, and you should follow his newsletter because it does give you all you need to know about not just Axie Infinity, but a real insight into crypto and the crypto space, coming from somebody who's paid in paid in blood pressure
Blood.
way before
Yeah.
we even heard about it. Like I said, Luis is he looks young but he's only 14, so he just looks
Yeah.
like that. That's crypto age, right? It's like
Yeah,
times
yeah.
7. It's like dog years,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
gone through all that hardship so that we can have a little bit of an easier experience through it. Okay, Luis, before I let you go, because we do have a raffle to get through.
Yes.
So thank you for all of the thoughts on Axie Infinity. I think I want to leave this firstly by telling people about your newsletter, because I'm sure they're bit in again. Could you direct people to how they can subscribe to that?
Yes, please. So my newsletter is called cryptoday.substack.com, and you can just kind of go to that website and just subscribe. It's free. It's always going to be free. There's a reason for that. It's not that I don't like making money. I do like to make money every now and again. But when I give advice, kasi, and it's free, people can't blame me if I get it wrong, right? And at the same time, if I get it right, you owe me nothing, right? Because I charge nothing for it. It's fine. It's like, and I would rather do this job in such a way that everyone can just learn a little bit out of it, but make their own minds up. Because I don't want to be that guy that's telling you, hey, invest in this, don't invest in that, whatever. Like, I'd like to be able to look at everything with a critical eye and, give you my thoughts. And yeah, and that's it. So I maybe I'm cursed to always have a newsletter that's always going to be free, but that's fine. I think that's probably better anyway, because I'm not really sure how to approach the sponsorship thing part of it right now. So this is it. You're looking at it right now, cryptoday.substack.com. Thanks so much for listening, guys. It's always a pleasure. I hope you learned a little bit of something, and don't forget, don't trust, verify. So
We learned a lot. We certainly learned a lot, and I'm itching to ask you another question, but I know I'm going to regret it because it's just going to be another rabbit hole of because it's about
I'm sure
Bitcoin, and I'll
always
just, I'll
is.
just save it for another time. In fact, I think you should be a permanent guest on the show already, but we can work on that because I feel something's about to happen with Bitcoin very soon. If we can promise to keep it to like 2 minutes, do you feel the same? Like somehow all the fundamentals have been very solid. We're not getting affected by the bad news as much as we used to. There's been a lot of FUD coming in, and every time the FUD comes in, it doesn't do a whole lot to the price. I mean, we're at the lowest now, but it's 31 from what, 33, 34. It's nothing. We're sitting in this crab market, right? This side-to-side market.
Yep.
But I'm feeling that the fundamentals you can't cheat those. Those are all correct. You got new countries like Paraguay coming in. You've got people like Apple talking about it. Did you confirm that Apple is really coming out with a coin? When is the price going to move?
Well, so okay, the 2-minute version of this is that we saw this exact same thing happened in 2017. And most people don't remember this because they weren't watching the price very closely. The only thing they remember about 2017 was that the price hit $20,000, all-time high, blew everyone's minds. But before we got there, it dumped 50%. So, and that was actually on the back of really bad news from China also. So China decided that they were going to ban all of the crypto exchanges. This is back in 2017, kind of the middle part of it. And as a result of that, all Bitcoin dropped, Ethereum dropped, all of the prices dropped across the board. And then 3 months later, we saw all-time high on everything. Everything was green, right? Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if we're going to see an exact repeat of 2017. I think that there's a lot of deja vu because I saw it again. It's the same thing, no? China ban, price drop, and now we're kind of in this weird, very sideways kind of market where it's just drifting in the $35,000 range for Bitcoin. I think that is very similar to 2017. This is the part where I have to say that this is not financial advice because, like I don't want anyone making really big bets on Bitcoin because of something that I said. But if you believe in the fundamentals of Bitcoin, it should not matter to you if it's going to go parabolic in the next couple of months. If you believe that Bitcoin is freedom money, it's a way to protect your wealth, then the price that you buy in should matter less to you than the technology that you are buying into, which is that Bitcoin, the idea that you now have control over your own money. So yeah, and that's what I usually say. I mean, you can optimize when you enter. 30,000 sounds good. It doesn't have to be 60,000, right? And you don't have to wait for 20,000 either. So I think that's the way I like to look at it.
That's a good 2-minute version. But you see, my brain just heard something like 2017 before it parabolic, and then I stopped listening. You see, I only got what I wanted to hear. Then that's it. And that's how most people operate. So this is why we are very worried about when we talk about crypto, because we're not trying to promote it, we're trying to educate, but people, even myself, switch off when we hear what we want to hear, and that's it. We just, our eyes roll back and we just see green candles and we run. And then when it goes red, we're like, ah.
So just wearing the red jacket. Yeah.
Somebody put a post there saying only invest what you're willing to lose. That you can't really go wrong with a saying like that. I prefer to say only invest what you're willing to park. Do you have another saying that could wrap that up?
Yeah, well, I mean, just I like to say this one more than anything, but I don't think that you're going to lose your money naman with Bitcoin. I think that there's a high likelihood lang that if we call it wrong, the market just kind of drifts for a long time. So I think I concur. It is something that you would end up parking. Some people don't like that, right? Some people want a quick yes or no response with their investment. Like, I just want to know if I lose money next month, just want to get out, right? And some people are okay with that. But generally speaking, I think that you won't lose all your money with Bitcoin. It will just kind of drift sideways for a long time if the market doesn't like pick up in the next month or two.
All right. We got to leave it there because you know why. It never ends. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Luis Buenaventura, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much, guys. It was a pleasure as always.
I hope they don't get you with the sirens. All right. That's Luis.
You too.
We'll catch you again next time, Luis. Bye for now.
Cheers, guys.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks so much. Bye.
All right. That's Luis Buenaventura II. And hope you got all the details from his newsletter. He is really a great person to follow. And as you guys know, I'm very, very particular about who we put on the show, especially with topics like this, because, I think we've shared our feelings about it. It's something that neither of us can make money out of this. Well, Luis, for full transparency, does have the BloomX exchange, but it is also a membership one with a waiting list. So it's like he can't even accommodate the people that are already on the waiting list. So it's not about selling, it's about educating. But that, for full disclosure, is he does have a BloomX, and that's part of his business. But he can offer advice independent of that. It's up to you how you can take that information that he puts out. He usually speaks about things that are nothing to do with Bloom X, just so you can get sort of your confidence in what he has to say, which he has a lot of experience. So really appreciate him coming on the show. All right. The only other way to beat, making money out of crypto and Axie is winning their raffle. That's right. Do you play Axie Infinity? Yeah? Can I sponsor you? Or can you be my sponsor? All right, guys. This is for the Kuisen diffuser and towel set. Is it one set?
One set for 3 winners, and then they all get a Titoclock shirt.
So one set for 3 winners. So each winner will get one set. And each set will also include a Titoclock shirt. Right? 1, 2, 3. And there are our winners. All right, guys, congratulations. Big, rocket. Big wins for you guys. You also get, like I said, the new merch will be included in your prize in your little kit. So thanks very much for joining us. Ooh, we went a little over time. That makes up for last week because we were a little early last week. We had so many tech dramas, right? No, actually, last week was the week we took off. Yeah, we took off last week because of technical problems. We were up in Clark, and we're going back there again tomorrow. But are we allowed to say what that test drive is? Watch out. But yeah, it's for a car soon to be launched. Super nice car. All right. So until then, guys, Rocket, on behalf of myself, Rocket, X, Y, and Z, stay safe, be kind to one another, and always sanitize.
Fancy meeting you in my internet. Couldn't help but notice your smile, while everybody else around us is surfing about. Can we just stop and chat a while? Get away from these gray and boring, lonesome days of our quarantine. Early yet to say what lies ahead. It's just the first day of the rest of our lives. Love could be waiting at the end of this quarantine. Let's stop